Good morning, my old friends. It's me, the traitor. Oh my goodness. Hi. How are you guys doing? Somebody requested, actually a few people requested car vlogs, so I thought I would come on here. I've got a drive to the country that I thought I would come on here and just talk to you guys while I'm doing that. My back is killing me, you guys. So I have some CBD oil on board. I don't know if that stuff works or not, but my brother seems to think that it does. And so I put some under my tongue this morning. We will see. It's the newfangled thing amongst all the health food gurus. And I've done a little research on it, and it's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but we'll see. I can't take my pain pill when I'm out driving and taking care of patients. So I'm doing NSAIDs and some homeopathic stuff. I have some deep blue rub that I put on myself from doTERRA, which is kind of like Bengay, fancy Bengay. And now I'm doing CBD oil. So whatever, call me a hippie, I don't know. That's one of the main reasons why I'm doing the switch of my, eating more low carby, keto-y, is for what I read can be pain relief and joint pain relief and stuff like that. I've also read that it's good for anxiety, and I don't know that I've talked about that too much here on my channel. But when I was 30, I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder, and I went on a year of medication for that. I was having really severe panic attacks to the point that my mother-in-law actually had to come and sit with me on some days while my husband used to travel for work when the kiddos were young. And if you've ever had anxiety or anxiety disorder or panic, you know how terrible that feels and how badly you need support and intervention when that happens. My family doctor was awesome. I went in and told him what was going on because it came out of nowhere, and he was like, this is a chemical issue. And he said, he drew on the paper on the exam table, he drew the brain, and he was talking about, chemicals and norepinephrine and serotonin and dopamine and all that good stuff. And he was saying, we've got to correct the chemical imbalance, and then you can work on the behavioral changes that you need to work on with like a counselor or something. So, and then he said something I will never ever forget. I hope I don't cry when I tell you all this, but he said, the troops are coming. When he drew pictures of like how the medicine would help. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm getting teared up about that, but he was the best doctor. And then we moved, and I was like, oh my gosh, I loved that doctor. Dr. McGrath. If you ever see this, Dr. McGrath, Graff? I can't remember exactly. It was years ago. So I went on medicine for a year, and then I also went and saw a licensed social worker for counseling for a while, and then I switched about 6 months into her to a psychiatrist that one of my family members was seeing and really liked, Christian lady. And things that they told me to help reduce anxiety, one of them was to reduce sugar and caffeine in my diet, and I did that during that year and saw a big, difference. And then also to not watch the news, to not read, disturbing news stories, and to not watch horror movies, which I didn't, really do either one of those. But I found at that time that if I did watch like the news and saw something terrible, I would get really, panicky and whatever. So after a year of that, and then exercise, that was the other thing. And, I was going to the YMCA daily and exercising. after a year, I was able to wean off the medication, and I've never had to go back on it. But I do know that now and this was almost 17 years ago, I do know now that if I eat a lot of sugar or, even drink a lot of caffeine, more than my daily cup of coffee, I start to get those anxious feelings, and I have to use a lot of my behavioral modification techniques, which I have, several that I do. One of them is prayer. So, that's a whole other discussion, but there's something in Orthodox Christianity called the Jesus prayer. And so I will utilize that, sort of like a meditative device. So anyway, one of the reasons why, there's several reasons why I want to get off the sugar. And I know there are people out there that are concerned, and I know there are people that can't support my channel because I, left Weight Watchers, and to some people that is anathema. I am a heretic. I'm a Weight Watchers heretic, and I totally get it. I have felt that way many times, seeing people switch off of Weight Watchers. But for those of you that are sticking around, please know, though you may not agree with me, I have done my research. I am being careful, and I'm doing this very, very slowly. I want to do the keto cleanse starting September 1st, but this week I am focusing on using an app a little bit more diligently and watching all my macros and calories, and trying to figure out which app I'm going to use in September. So, and I'm either going to use Carb Manager or the keto section of iTrack Bites. So we will see which one. This week I'm using iTrack Bites. I really like it. I like tracking. So my thought process is this: I would love to track until I've got this figured out, and then, go into more of just maybe watching my carbs or something, and not being so attached to the app. I was watching, oh gosh, I just forgot her name. Shelly's Home Life. Whoever suggested that channel to me, thank you so much. I think several of you did. I love her channel. And she was talking the other day about really giving this way of eating at least 3 months before you make a decision either way. And I know several of you are concerned about long term. I've thought a lot about that. I've been going through the idea of this since the beginning of the year. So this is not something I decided to do on a whim. This is something I have been thinking about, praying about, talking to my husband about, talking to friends about, researching online, reading books. I'm not doing this out of so-and-so is doing it and I'm going to do it too, or even out of a comparison. This is more about, I've got to rein in my cravings. I want to feel better, more energetic, and I want to get the weight off of my joints that are hurting. You guys, for me, this isn't about vanity, and I've thought long and hard about that. Do you do this to look better? I'm going to be 47 years old. I have looked like this since I was 12. I've also been unpopular since I was 12. I'm not the popular choice. So if you're here to hang out with one of the popular kids, I'm not that girl. Okay? I'm the dorky. In 6th grade, we had to tape these pieces of paper on each other's back and go around the room and write one thing about the person. And it had to be positive, I think. But it was one thing that we knew about the person or something. My whole list said, you are weird, you are strange, you are funny, you are weird, you are strange. I guess I was the class clown. But there wasn't any, you are cool. I don't know what you would say in the 80s. You are rad. You are awesome. Whatever. There was none of that. It was, you're weird. And I think that's what you guys get here on my channel. So, thank you all for putting up with me and, you know, being my friends out there, even though I'm a little off. I have people texting me and texting me and texting me. Welcome to Monday morning. So, yesterday, my husband and I went out for dinner last night. Oh my goodness, it was the best dinner. The best dinner ever. So, I stayed home from church yesterday because I was hurting and I had to take a muscle relaxer, and I can't be driving around on a muscle relaxer. And I don't go to church with my husband in his car because he goes really early and stays even after I leave. So we take separate cars, and I was like, I am not driving there. So I fasted until noon, and then what did I have? Let's just have mental clarity here. Hold on a second, let me think. Oh, I made myself a egg white frittata in the oven. You guys have seen my frittata. I did that. And now people are emailing me. Stop it. So I had that and a cup of coffee. And then for dinner, and I was counting all my macros, that was like 400 calories by the time I was done. We went to Outback, and I got their 7-ounce salmon. I'm on a brick road right now. We have these old brick roads. They're kind of cool out here. I had a piece of salmon. I had some steamed broccoli, and I had a wedge salad. Oh, I love a wedge salad. It was so delicious. And then we put some butter on top of our broccoli. My husband got a steak, and then the same thing as I did. And I had like 3 glasses of water. And it was so yummy. I ate my broccoli and his broccoli because he only ate like half of his broccoli. He told the waitress, he was like, I'll have the broccoli even though I don't want it. And she just died laughing. She's like, well, you're trying to be good. And he's like, yep, trying to be good. I mean, he's just like not having any of it, because normally he would get a loaded baked potato and the rolls. We told her, don't even bring the bread to the table. He'd have a loaded baked potato. He'd have all that bread. He'd have a Coke and a steak and whatever other kind of salad with Thousand Island, you know, and still be a teeny weeny. So, oh boy, men. So anyway, love him. I love him. But he's not having any of it. So we got home last night, and he was like, we're going to make cookies. Well, he went through my keto dessert cookbook that I just got, and he found these. They're kind of like, they look like sugar cookies, like you would eat at Christmas time. And they're made from cream cheese, butter, you know, typical low carby stuff. Swerve, vanilla, eggs. He made cookies last night. We even got the mixer down. They have almond flour in them. They were phenomenal. They did not taste diety. They were not overly sweet. They were really light and fluffy and yummy. And so I had one of those last night. And the minute I had it, okay, so tell me this. So I know, like, we're all, whatever, addicted to sugar. Okay, we're not all addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to sugar. And they did studies, and they showed a lot of Americans are addicted to sugar. And we eat a lot of sugar. So what is it the taste of the sugar in the brain? Or is it the actual sugar when it hits the body? I know it acts like a drug in the brain. If you do your research on that, there's big news articles. The New York Times had a big article on sugar addiction and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, because as soon as I tasted the sweet cookie that tasted so much like a sugar cookie, I had a terrible craving, like I wanted more of them. And I haven't had any cravings up until last night, because I've been slowly working on my, where do I turn, right here? I've been slowly working on my diet and getting the sugar and the wheat and stuff out. So, just wondering, any of you guys that are on low carb or keto or whatever, somebody said I should just do low carb, and I agree. I like the low carb. The thing I like about the keto is the fact that you have a lot of satiety with that, and so you aren't as hungry, and when I'm hungry I overeat, and so that's kind of why I'm going more with a keto approach. And a lot of the stuff that I research is on keto. Woo! I know some of you guys have done, that was a weird bump. I know some of you guys have done Atkins and had really good success. So we're just going to do this for right now. I think the thing that I'm a little concerned about on keto and low carb is I'm used to eating a lot of vegetables, a lot. So that is something that, I mean, everything is real moderate on keto and you track everything. So, you know, even your protein, you just kind of watch your serving sizes. So like this morning I had 2 cups of broccoli that I steamed down, or that I sauteed down. Yeah, normally I would have 4. What the heck, eat the whole thing. So the idea of limiting anything like that kind of messes with me. And I think that's a lot of the Weight Watchers mentality of you just don't limit fruits and veggies. So having actual serving sizes of fruits and veggies is weird for me. So I'm working on that. I know all of you calorie counters, most of you have said on, you know, in my comments, I'm just representing what my comments have said, that you also count your, you know, your fruits and veggies in your calorie counts. So everything, you know, input in, input out, blah, blah, blah. Which the nurse in me loves that, because I'm all about input and output, you know. I love that. Let me see. Today's plan is, I have 7 minutes left till I get there. Today's plan is I have a visit here at 10 o'clock. Then I'm going to drop by the office and drop some things off and pick some things up, and then go home and do some charting and some chart prep. And then I have 2 more visits this afternoon, but I'm going to be home to eat. I think that was another concern someone said, with your busy lifestyle, how are you going to do this? Well, with my busy lifestyle, how am I going to do anything? I don't know. You know, it's just, I've got to figure this out for myself. So I've been meal prepping, and I have some things at home that I can eat for lunch. And if I'm out on the go, I have sort of a contingency for that as well. But right now I'm trying to schedule myself actual lunch times, and bringing my waters with me, and just, you know, doing what I'd have to do if I was doing any other lifestyle change. Like, come on, Amy, let's make time for yourself and give yourself a lunch break and pack some things if you're going to be out on the road or at the office. And I've been doing a better job of that the last few weeks. So that's kind of the plan for today. I am filming my meals this week. You know, if you guys want me to put that up, let me know. And I feel like I'm having some subscribers come out of the woodwork and tell me that they are doing keto and they hadn't said anything before. So thank you guys for rallying and supporting me in that. And to those of you guys that aren't doing this and you're still WW fans, but you're still supporting me, thank you. I understand. You know, if this is not your thing and you don't want to watch me ramble and you're here for WW, I totally get it. And I want you to know that you guys do what you need to do. Okay? Just do what you need to do. I appreciate, I have not had any negative comments. Thank you so much for just being kind and generous with me and just clicking off or you know, unsubscribing or whatever you need to do. I understand. There's a lot of channels I've watched over the years, not necessarily, you know, weight loss related, that over time you're like, you know, like Graveyard Girl. I used to watch her.
and she used to be really fun and funny, and I just don't watch her anymore, and so you just end up unsubscribing because you don't want her in your feed. For those of you that want to do this with me, or just want to support me, or just interested in weight loss videos, or just are my friend and want to stick around, thank you so much for sticking around. So I'm going to remain positive and support you guys in what you're going to do, and I ask that you do the same for me. You know, whatever you got to do, I'm with you. I got it. I'm also over on Instagram, and it's for Nurse 17. So if you want to go over there just to keep up with me, I post over there occasionally. I'm not a great Instagrammer. I'm not really sure what the point of Instagram is sometimes, unless you just have something you really have to share. But I have noticed that people over there do share a lot of recipes and things, which is nice. It's just so much. It is so much. And I like to either Google search recipes, or I like to get cookbooks. So sometimes, like this morning, I went to look up keto bread on there, and there were a lot of recipes for keto bread. But I couldn't tell because I'm used to people rating or commenting. Like on Google, if you look up something, a lot of times you'll get ratings on recipes, which I really appreciate people's feedback. Like, was this recipe any good? Should I even bother? And on Instagram, I don't see too many of those. Like, I see comments, but it's like, well, did this work for you? Like you said, oh, yum, I'm going to go try it. But did you try it and did it work? So, I see a lot of people eating like fathead dough. And making pizzas and things out of it. So that looks interesting. I think I'd like to try that. My husband wants for me to try like a pancake recipe, and he wants me to try to find a bread, like a keto bread. So if you guys know of anything like that, post it down below. Or if you've made the fathead dough, let me know how that turned out and what you did with it. I would love to get some feedback on that. And if you have channels or anything, I've been looking through. You guys have some awesome, suggestions and channels for me. If you think of anything that you think would be helpful. This weekend I was kind of in bed nursing my back, and so it really helped to, look at channels and get ideas. Also, over on my Instagram, if you look at my story, I have a story on there right now under N is for Nurse 17. I show you Asher's room. We got his room cleaned out. I think that's one reason why my back kind of hurts. But we got his room cleaned out, and then I give you a little house tour over there. So if you want to go see a few rooms of my house and sort of what I've been doing in terms of house decorating, go look at my Instagram. I have a story. So if you go over there and you find me, just click on my head up in the profile, and it'll bring up the story. I think after 24 hours it disappears. But okay, you guys, with that, I am turning into my country road that I've got to go see a client on. I'm gonna let y'all go. Almost 25 minutes in. I hope this was a good carb vlog. I hope you got your bathroom cleaned or whatever. Drank your coffee this morning. Let me know how you're doing, what your goals are for the week, what your plans are for the week, how you're doing on whatever healthy plan you have going on. I'd love to hear about that. So I will talk to you guys later. Stay in orbit. Bye.